Today I've been thinking about being a free spirit and what is the deeper meaning. Well, as everything else, it's as simple as looking at the definitions of the two words together, free and spirit. And to me, being a free spirit is to allow spirit, source, God, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it, to express freely through you since you are an expression of it. And true surrender is self realization, um, realizing that you are God, you are source, we're all one. There's only one energy manifesting itself in myriads of forms. And when you realize that, you can just like relax and feel like, okay, this is great. I could just flow with life and allow this energy to express itself through me. And that's, like ego death. You're not this limited little entity thrown in the wind, blowing in the wind, insecure, fragile, afraid of all of these things. But you realize there's nothing to be afraid of because everything is you. And you also begin to realize that the way to work with yourself or who you are is to direct your thoughts and feelings towards truth, towards good. And then you just flow with life and you are free because you also realize that everything that has been created until now has been created because it was serving a purpose. But when you allow the divine to express through you, you can create entirely new things that are going to serve a purpose at the moment and be a solution to a certain problem, or serve a purpose in the future and be a solution to a future problem that you don't know yet that is going to exist, but infinite intelligence knows. And when I say be a solution to a problem, it doesn't have to be like something like it could just be bringing more beauty, more love, more joy into the world, and art that is of higher frequency and vibration. And when you put those things together and you are able to surrender the ego and your little self and the desire to control, then you actually know a lot more and you start to develop your faculties of precognition, of imagination, of faith, of mm, yeah, all the other like clear cognizance and clear audience, because you realize that you are all and you're connected with everyone and everything. So it's one big network. And when you desire something, you can just wish for it and let it go, and somebody in that network will have your answer or thing or whatever. And when you're receptive, your intuition will guide you to it or them to you. Or again, when you live in that state of surrender, you send love before you everywhere you go. So everybody is loving and kind towards you, and everything happens naturally and easily. And actually, if there is a problem somewhere, you can help neutralize it because you are vibrating in that higher frequency. And when you vibrate in the frequency of love, peace, harmony, you bring it with you and help others remember the truth of who they are in turn. And even if that doesn't happen consciously, unconsciously, their vibration will balance out and harmonize with yours when you're able to maintain that and walk in the truth of who you are. So, to me, this is what it is to be a free spirit. And a lot of times that involves to act opposite to what everybody else is doing, but not out of a selfish, egotistical defiance, like a teenager kind of thing. But because you have a deeper understanding and knowing, and you have to honor your intuitive knowing and your conscious understanding mm, of the truth. Uh, and even if everybody else is swayed by ignorance and um, is unconscious, you remain conscious. And in their eyes, you can seem to be the problem or the crazy one, or, like the person who does the opposite of everybody else and doesn't care about the things that they care and how you're going to make it. But when you live in truth, you're okay and you don't care what people think, in the sense that it's not really affecting you because you're guided by source and God, and that's all that matters to you. uh, and in this way you become a guide and a leader, because eventually people are able to understand the things that you were doing, and realize that you were forward and you were paving a new way, and you were coming up with solutions and new ways of doing things that are going to be beneficial in the long run. So in a sense, you're like that person that is walking through a forest and carving a brand new path. uh, and if um, and yeah, your ways can seem different, but for you they're normal, and you don't have to fit in that box of doing things that you don't want to do because everybody else is doing them, or being moved from fear and conditioning and following blindly. But you're liberated on the inside because you know who you are, and that truth brings you joy, peace, harmony, love, because this is who you are. So the striving is gone because most people operate from lack, and they uh, strive for their whole life for this outward validation and doing things so they can receive that outward validation and that outward security. And when you come to realize the truth of who you are and free your spirit from the mental constructs uh, that no longer serve you, then you naturally abide in all of these feelings because you know that that's who you are, and you are abundant in everything, in wisdom and truth and love and curiosity and joy, mm, and information and intelligence and beauty. And life becomes very effortless that way because you just allow the divine to move through you. And every day is new and every day is interesting. And you never know what life is going to bring, but you know that you're equipped to handle it with joy and ease because you are life. So there is nothing to fear, only to be surprised and delighted, uh, and learn more and expand more and enjoy more.